Hello and welcome to this episode of Coach's Corner. I am here with the Region Coach of the Year, Jason Flowers. First of all, congratulations on that. And I just want to start off. So, what do you think that getting that award means to you?
Well, it definitely means a lot, and definitely was a surprise. But I think more than anything, it's just a testament to the girls on the team, my assistant coach, Coach Laney. All the work that everybody's put in to this year, because without winning region, but still winning that award, just I think was a show of those people who voted saying that they've seen a difference in the team as a whole. And that, although I feel good about that, I definitely know that it wasn't just about me. Mm-hmm. So they responded well to things. They've played hard, and I've certainly had some help along the way. So.
All right. So I know at the region tournament you kind of fell apart there at Whitewater. So could you just walk me through kind of what happened in those two matches?
Yeah, I think the first one was we played McIntosh well again. We lost earlier in the season the 25-23, 25-20, and we were right in the same numbers again. It was 25-20, 25-22, I believe, on this set. So I felt like we were still kind of in the same spot after that match. I really felt like that we had a few things we could have done better. We missed a few serves that gave points away, and we did some things that I thought were just weren't quite our type of volleyball. That maybe just a few points here or there. But overall, I thought we played pretty well. I think it was the next match that just sort of set up for a tough thing. Last year when with Coach Ellison, they lost to Whitewater twice throughout the season, and then were able to beat them in the tournament. And it's really hard to beat good teams 3 times in a row. And so this year it set up the same way, but in their favor instead of ours. We beat them twice during the season, and in fact we beat them the day before. So I think that we just had a few things that were off, and once we started struggling a little bit, it was just hard to regain that momentum.
And so how do you think you can use those those games in the region tournament as a whole to sort of prepare for the state tournament?
Well, something we talked about right afterwards was just talking about taking it one point at a time. That's what we've kind of been talking all year. And I think in the Whitewater match especially, there was just times where there were 3 or 4 points in a row that Whitewater was able to score, where they just kind of happened quickly and without really realizing that it was going on. And so I think that getting back to the hey, another team scores a point or we lose a point, that we're focused on the very next point to get that ball back and start our own stream of points. And I think that being able to use that as an example, and also use it as an example of, hey, we know they didn't get that much better in one day. It was all obviously a mental thing on our part, mental focus, and I feel like for me that's one of the I can't get out on there on the court and play. So one of my roles as a coach is to make sure that I'm getting them mentally prepared to play, and so I definitely have to look at some things on my own behalf to say, hey, what is it that I need to do to get them more ready and prepared.
And so what do you think that you're gonna put that focus more on getting them prepared? What do you think would be like the offense, defense, or like just strategy? What do you think?
I think it's just on as much as anything, not as much volleyball skill, but just preparation. Are you thinking about and visualizing what you're about to do? Are you eating correctly the day before? Are you sleeping well the night before? Are you there on time when you're supposed to be? All those things, the little things that we talk about that create a sense of community and a sense of just team chemistry. And I think those are the factors that I think Saturday we just lacked a little bit on that may have been the difference. Our volleyball skill is there, and that's shown by our 2 previous wins against Whitewater. But I think again, just the mental preparation of being focused and ready when it's time to play.
And so also just take me back to some of those first 2 rounds of the region tournament, where you in fact played 2 games like on separate days because of the weather. So sort of like, when did you find out, and how do you think that affected the team?
We found out about mid-morning. We found out that Griffin, Spalding County, was not going to let buses travel, and in order to play our second round game, we had a first round game versus Jonesboro, but in order for the second round game to be played, then Griffin had to be there for Whitewater to play them. It was definitely a letdown, just because we thought, hey, you know, we're playing Whitewater tonight. This is going to be our, you know, second time to play them. We need to play well. And, you know, all that just kind of deflated pretty quickly when we found out we weren't going to be playing them, but it was going to be Friday. I felt like the girls responded really well because it was a difficult change and a last-minute change. But they, you know, on Friday they still responded really well and played well enough to beat them for that second time.
All right, and so what do you think you're gonna? Because I know that some potential teams that you might be facing are Whitewater and McIntosh in the state tournament. So if you guys get to them, what do you think that you are gonna do that is different from these last few games that you played against those teams?
Well, the way the bracket sets up, we would, if we make it as far as I hope that we do, we would see we'd see Whitewater in the in the semifinals, the Final Four. That would be the first time we could meet with them. And I think again, it's just going back to the two wins. You know, what's the difference between our preparation between those two and the Saturday match, and then hoping, you know, and planning on that we would beat them to get to the finals. McIntosh coming from the other side of the bracket, the only time we'd see them is in the actual state final. And I think at that point our girls really believe that they can beat them, and I think that they know that, you know, if that's the situation and state is on the line, then I really feel like you know, McIntosh having beat us twice this year, that we really have a chance to, again, kind of like I said, you know, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times, and I think we're a good team. So I think for McIntosh to beat us 3 times in one season would be difficult.
And so if you come to face those teams and the team sort of gets down, who do you think that the girls will look to on the floor to kind of rally them back and bring them back up?
Well, our definite leader is Megan Lee, our senior outside. She's, you know, they feed a lot off of her energy, and you know, if she's doing well, our team's doing well. And if she starts to struggle a little bit, you know, she takes it on her shoulders to try to not only pick herself up, but the rest of the team as well. And I definitely see her stepping into that role and having an opportunity, because volleyball itself, just as a sport, is the ups and downs. It's the ebb and flow of streaks, you know, and surviving the negative ones while making the positive ones happen as much as possible. And I think that she can definitely be that leader on the court.
All right, Coach Lars, that's all I have for you. And so good luck in the state playoffs, and make sure to keep an eye on the Prowler for Ben's story on the volleyball state tournament, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.